while we wait, if you don't if you can't hear me, just let me know. You can unmute and say I can't hear you. If you can't see me or something, just also let me know. This is a virtual conference, so we're gonna let it roll, let it ride. It's one of the biggest ones and first ones I've been in, which I'm very excited. But all right, we're just gonna start because let's get this rolling. So I am Curtis Harkness, and what I want to talk to you today about is relationships and how diversity drives success. And the biggest thing you'll see is it probably not what you thought I was going to say. Let me admit, there we go. So first thing, here we go. Grab the key. So we are going, where are we going today? I want to thank you for joining this trip today. I will guarantee if you sit back, buckle up, and get ready for the ride, it will be bumpy. I guarantee it'll be bumpy on this ride. I am Curtis Harkness again, and I want to bring you to the starting line. We all start the same way, right? We all start the same way. We're born, and then life happens. But no one starts the same way after that, right? After you're born, we come out genetics, what's going to happen, biology. After that, no one starts the same way after. But we all can only focus on our own journey to our destination, because if you focus on others, you won't achieve what you want to achieve. So where did I start? And I am glad you asked. I was born in Dayton, Ohio, in the Midwest. So I don't know much about the Midwest. I think it's a great area, aka I was born there. But there's a lot to offer that people don't understand. But the crazy thing was, I didn't grow up in the Midwest. Before the age of 12, I had moved 4 to 5 times in my life. So, and no, I was not a military brat or kid. I'm not calling anybody who was a military child a brat, but I wasn't. Probably a little bit of a brat. But after I was born, we lived in Dayton, Ohio, moved to Detroit, moved to Louisiana, a few other places, and ended up in Atlanta, Georgia, finally. But what I want to touch on really quickly is how I started, right? And that's the biggest thing is people see where I am now, they see where you are now, but they don't know where you started from. And that's a big deal, because if they knew where you started from, a lot of times they would appreciate you more for where you are currently. So in saying that, I started my life, just say at 2 years old, I got a crazy disease called Kawasaki's disease. The funny thing is, it's actually coming up now. You can research it. It's happening actually a lot now in the UK with all of this COVID. But skipping forward, that happened to me, and no one knew what it was at the time in Detroit. And yeah, it was a scary thing. So I was actually in a real quarantine. A lot of people think quarantine is staying at home, but staying at home is not just a quarantine. I was actually enclosed in a plastic box, clean room, where nobody could get to me because they didn't know what the disease was, even though the disease was actually a inflammation of my arteries and capillaries. But moving forward, about 3 years, 4 years later, I ended up getting meningitis, which was another crazy thing. But all in that saying is, I wasn't a sick child. And yes, I had a lot of things happen to me early, but after that, I can clearly say I never got injured or really sick again. So my start, right, if you looked at my start, it was different than where I ended up, because a lot of people think if you start out sick, you're going to end sick or you're going to have a lot of sicknesses. But I was blessed, and that was not the case for me. Now, jumping forward, I was a middle child. I was number 3 of 4, number 2 boy, the second boy out of 3, and my sister was the oldest. So I was something that you called a super middle child. And the middle child syndrome is something that I don't believe in, but I definitely believe that I was affected by it. But that being said, I had great parents that made sure we all, they did their best to make sure we started the same way as children. We were treated as closely possible, you can say, as the same as any other child. But even moving forward past that, going into high school, going into college, I didn't understand everything that was going on in life. And what you're going to learn when I jump into these points, you're going to see how by default I was able to pivot and blossom into things that normally, if I followed that strict, hard rule, that line that this is what you do, I probably would have never made it to. So I'm going to jump forward, and I'm actually going to define what a relationship is. What is a relationship? And if you can see on the screen, a relationship is the way in which two or more objects or concepts are connected, or people are connected, or the state of that connection. And then you can actually read that too. Sorry, or the state of being connected. Make sure you guys can see. And the biggest thing a lot of times when people read relationships, they think I'm going to talk about romantic relationships, brothers and sisters, parents, friends, family. I'm not. That's not the only relationship. Our relationships go so deep. They are in every single thing that we do. There are phones, your relationship with your phone, your relationship with your favorite beverage. I like LaCroix, but I also have a relationship with Pellegrino. I'm not cheating on Perrier, but those are all different relationships that we have, even down to the socks we wear, to the hair products we use, to the cars we drive. Everything is a relationship. We have a relationship with every single thing in our life. And that matters because how we view ourselves and how we view others and the places and things that we have a relationship with will shape how we live our life. And then, again, how do they shape us? We form every decision from the relationship we have with the variables involved. And that means, if you grew up and your dad was or mom was your dad was a GM guy, right? He loved General Motors. Most likely you're going to have some affinity for General Motors, or you're going to have a dislike for General Motors. But that relationship is going to be influenced by your father. It's the same thing with your mom on whatever she likes, right? And whatever you don't like because she likes it, right? Music always happens like that. Movies. And that even goes with men and women, in a relationship, or even just by yourself with your friends. All of these decisions are shaped by that and how we react to it. So as we move forward, what I want to talk to you today about is 3 to 4 things, 3 or 4 points. And I'm just going to jump in because we're already almost 10 minutes in. But I want to let you know 4 things. The first thing on how to be successful, right? How to have successful, meaningful relationships. You have to first open your door, right? You have to be open. You can't just sit back and wonder, I'll just be fine by myself, or I'm good in what I'm doing, and I'm fine. You can do that, actually. You can. You have a choice. But to reach the goals you want to reach, to have that fulfilled life, not saying that I'm there yet. We're all growing and living. You have to be open. What does it mean to open your door, right? I'm using this analogy as a car because I just did not just because we've been on quarantine, but last year we did a road trip across America for a brand called Nostalgicon, and there's a lot of different people. But the first thing we had to do before that road trip was to open our door. And what does it mean to open your door? It means to open your mind, to be open to different things, even if it's trying ham salad, even if it's, driving a different car, if it's working out differently because, you might do CrossFit, but you might not want to try yoga because you're not used to it, but be open to it. And that thing right there is, it's funny because those relationships come back into that, because our relationship with certain things will dictate how open we are. And if your relationship is in I'd say a bad relationship with something, as in you think yoga is not good for you because of your friend got hurt, then you're going to have a bad relationship with yoga, not knowing that yoga actually might be something that's really good for you. You know, and I'm not saying I do yoga or not do yoga. I've done yoga. I'm not great at it, but I don't think it's a bad thing. And you also can't live your best life closed. If you are closed off to the world, that means you're going to miss out on giving the world and the people in it the gifts and talents that you have. But you also won't be able to receive those gifts and talents from the other people there that will help impact your life. You have to open your door to new possibilities and experiences, because you can't do anything else if the door is closed. All right, you already grabbed the keys. That's great. But next thing to do is open the door. So be open and open your door. And just showing, these are some pictures that you'll see from friends and family of mine, because of the diverse relationships I have. It's crazy, because I had to open my door to get to these relationships with people where they're just different, right? They're different, and it's okay to be different. All right, so after you open the door, you get in the car, you buckle up, you put your seatbelt on, you put the keys in. What is the next thing you're going to do? You have to start your engine, right? You might have a push button like I have in this video, but the crazy thing is, a lot of times it's sticking the key in and turning it, right? Turn the ignition on. And what I mean by start your engine is pushing your limits, right? You want to push your limit, because you can't just want to do and try new things. You have to start it. You have to push your limits by getting the ticket, right? To go to a different country or to go to a different state, applying for that college, applying for that job, downloading the software to learn that new language that you want to learn. And the crazy thing is, a lot of times we won't always go after that, because we're afraid of just starting. Just starting your engine is the biggest time, and it's probably the most time that people actually fail. They actually fail because they don't start. And that's something that I've seen even in myself, that if I don't start, I won't even give myself a chance to win. And so that's the big thing. Start your engine, push your limits, right? And so the next thing that that we're going to go into is forget the map. Forget the map. The map of life is not real. There isn't a map on how to live your life and to reach the goal you want. If anyone says that, they're lying, because there's no one person that has the same exact life, lives the same exact way for you, right? And the next thing, there's signs as you're forgetting the map to get there, but there's a lot of uncharted territory. This picture that you're seeing, that's Singapore. I've never been to Singapore before until last year, never knew it, and it was uncharted territory. But one thing in the realm of relationships, everything is uncharted territory. What you think is normal might be scary to others. And if you think that way, then you'll be able to understand other people's hesitations to things that you think are just normal and easy. Because when you go into uncharted territory, which might be learning a new OS on your phone, or driving and learn to drive and stick, or being on a boat and learning to sail, that's out of your element. That's uncharted territory. Even food, right? Food in different places, different countries, different cities and states in the world are uncharted territories, because they're not what we know. But the one thing we do know is, if you go through that uncharted territory, after you've been through it, it's no longer uncharted, because you've already been through it. Now you have that experience to put in your tool belt for next time, and how you're going to use it to grow. And keep exploring in life, right? The signs. There are signs that you can follow sometimes. Yep. Maybe you stop and ask for directions, but you don't limit yourself on a map that might take you to the destination fast, right? It may get you there quickly because there's a shortcut, but the route isn't the one that prepares you for it, right? You'll get there, but you won't be prepared for what you're trying to get to. And that's where the diversity comes into play, because diversity challenges you. It challenges what you think. It makes you learn new things. It makes you have new experiences that then will shape your view and your relationships with the things, the places, and the people in your life. And that's also going to affect your journey and where you're going. And the big thing that I get to is never stop driving. And when we say never stop driving, I was in Miami. I go to a church called Food Church, and the pastor, Rich Wilkerson Jr., preached on something that said never retire. And I was like, well, I want, our goal is to work. Our goal is to make a lot of money. Our goal is to get to the point where we can retire, right? That's the goal that people have told us. That's what society have told us, is you get to 65, you get to 55, you retire. You've made it. You just sit back, you saved all that money, you got the Social Security, and it's just gonna pay you, right? And what do you do after that? What are you gonna do? Growth is the only way to stay alive. If you stop pushing in your fitness, you will lose your health. If you stop investing and earning, you will lose your wealth. And it goes the same as if you stop and you retire, then you might as well just say, okay, I'm done. And the biggest thing that I try to help people understand is, when I say never retire, it doesn't, I never stop driving, it doesn't mean that you can't retire. Doesn't mean that. It means that you can retire and potentially find something else. But in doing so, push yourself, even in retirement, right? And a lot of times people think having children, having a family is, oh man, life is over now, I have children. No, with children and family, if you get a husband or wife, that's a new challenge, right? That's a new uncharted territory. New relationships are uncharted territories, and new jobs, right? I'm in a new job right now. We're producing the first ever like virtual music festival benefit. And it's crazy because I was a producer in real life, of course, real life now, virtually. But in the real world, as in the physical world, I produce events all over the world, in over 20 different countries, in over 20 different languages. And the crazy thing is, when this all happened, we were already working in the virtual world. We're already working on, content online, virtual content, because we knew even before this happened that some things will go online. What is a new thing that we can add? It was the online platform. But when it all just shut down, that was uncharted territory for me, because I travel. If you know me, I travel constantly, and I have a lot of friends because of it. But the crazy thing is, being still in one place was uncharted territory for me. Being in a place where I can't leave, where you can, and that's for a lot of people, it was uncharted territory. And how we navigated through this, right? Whether it's learning a new instrument, whether it's learning how to cook better, cleaning better, working on new business. What did you do during that time? And so that's where the never stop driving comes into play, because a lot of people did stop driving when the road ran out, when the car shut off, the gas stopped, right? The world stopped. A lot of people stopped. And that's the crazy thing is, those who didn't stop, and we hear this all the time. You're going to come out better on the other side. Don't waste this crisis. Don't waste the quarantine. But honestly, this is just another lesson in life, is what did you do when it stopped, right? Did you stop? And for me, I didn't stop, and we're currently not stopping, because the event's actually going to happen Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. So if you, I would love for you to tune in there. Altissimo Live. It's going to be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm not sorry, not Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch. And it's amazing to see what was able to be done with a crazy powerful team in a matter of 3 weeks. And a lot of people don't understand how long it takes to get events set up. It takes more than 6 months to do most events. That's 6 months to do one event that might be one day. And this is an event that we got together in 3 weeks apart, not being in the same place. And a lot of these companies have never worked with each other. So when I get to the point of saying never stop driving, that is a serious thing in all of our lives when we get to the end of something. Because my main goal growing up was to be an international marketer, international business person. And I reached that goal faster than I ever thought I would. It was a blessing. I got to that goal 3 years out of college. And I was about to stop because I said, what do I do now? I made my goal. And then the next thing came and tapped me and said, what are you actually doing? Is this where you want to end up at? Are you content with this? And a friend and my mentor challenged me, like, I'm going to challenge you. And he said, Curtis, is this what you truly want? And I looked back and I said, no, this is not all I want, but this was the main goal of mine. What do I do next? And so it took me a year or two to figure it out. And it might take you a couple years or a couple months, you never know, but never stop driving so that way you can figure it out. And where are you going? Right, we're on the road, winding road. We're driving. This is actually the beautiful coast of California. I've been blessed to be out there a lot of times, live out there for a little bit. But one thing I realize in life, roads will take you where they're going to go. You have to navigate on which road you're going to take, because you can't just follow the road. You can't just follow the map, because every journey is different. And I just wanted to show you a little bit of what's going on in my life. This is over from the if you can see it. This is when I was little to now. This year, different things from helping to traveling. I never knew in my life that I would do the things I've done and befriend the type of amazing people shown here. I can only say that walking with love and openness will help you get to where you're living and where you should be in your life, which is living your fullest every day. And what I wanna leave you with, this is something, a really powerful, a cool quote. Maybe the bike is more dangerous, but the passion for the car, for me, is second to the bike. That means, it's not always the safest route. Sometimes that passion you have that might be a little bit dangerous actually might be what you need to push you into that uncharted territory to get you there. And I just want to say thank you. I'm going to open up for questions in about 30 seconds, but I will close with this. If you only eat one thing, and I hope you can see me here, let me do this. If you only eat one thing in life, your body will never fully develop. So I want you to really think about this, what I'm about to say. What makes you think your life is any different? And that's why I say in relationships, diversity will drive success. And success, again, is not just business or wealth. Successful is a healthy relationship with your life, with the people in it, the things that you have in it, the places you go, and just you overall in your actual body and mind and soul. So thank you all. I'm going to open up for any questions. If anybody have any questions, let me know. You can actually just unmute and jump in. If not, we got a couple minutes. If you got anything else you want to know, just let me know. I see people. Hey, Jennifer, Louie, thanks for jumping in. Emily, Audrey, I see you. Stephanie, Anthony, thank you. Aaron, Sasha, thank you for joining. Again, this is the Global Unconference going on all day. Hey, Louie, is that you jumping on? Hey, I can unmute you. How you doing? Hey, Emily. And the crazy thing, all of you are like all over America doing things everywhere, and it's really I'm really touched that everybody's able to jump in and see this. It is actually going live on Facebook too, so you can wave because people are seeing us on Facebook Live. But no, this is great. I thank you all. I got like 3 minutes before we actually going to jump into the next speaker. But if anybody doesn't have any questions, let me know. I can shoot you over the presentation later. But yeah, that's all I have for today.
Well done, Curtis.
Thanks, Louis.
Good job, Curtis.
Thank you, Emily. And I will say really quick, thank you to Emily and Janice, two people that helped me get my thoughts together, because I'll just say this one thing. I take notes. I'm a very, how do you say, not the person that you won't take in notes, but I take notes. But there's some people like Emily that have their scribble scrabble, their notes are way better than mine, and able to put my thoughts together. And Janice, I don't know if she made it. I know she was working too. She helped me fulfill the rest of it of this talk. So I just want to give those two ladies a really big thank you for all the help, for making me be able to do this.
Did you enjoy the ham salad?
Yes, actually, that yes, I did enjoy the ham salad. So that was the uncharted territory for me. The ham salad. Also when I lived in Colombia with my awesome friend Jeff, he definitely helped me try a lot of different foods that I never tried before too. So definitely keep trying foods. Also, I did try a soft pear from Louis that was definitely different than I've ever tried before, Louis, but I love it.
You did a great job, Curtis.
Thank you. And I think that's all my time, right, Robin?
Unmuting.
Hey, Jennifer, Dottie.
Hey, I just wanted to say great job, and I love the conversation on relationships. Working in the government contracting sector, relationships are everything. Absolutely everything. So this is an excellent topic to share out, and I enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's my amazing aunt. She sings way better than I do, and she performs way better than I do. But I have a lot of inspiration in my own relationships to be able to take from, because I had them as role models. So definitely thankful for you as a great role model in my life. Thank you. Love you, Aaron and Anthony. They are working at the same time, so I know you guys are there. Thank you, Stephanie, for jumping in. Stephanie's in Miami, which is beautiful. I wish I could be down there enjoying that. All right. Thanks, Anthony. See you all later.